It's a high chaos ball, a wobbler. Oh, Reynolds, favoured by the bounce. He's going to turn it round the body, and he's got enough on it.
And welcome before the Bounce Season 2, Episode 11. I'm Greg Anderson, and we've got plenty to get through tonight. And some of the discussion points, Brad Crouch to the Saints in 2021. Well, we'll have a chat about that one. This week, the Bulldogs, they're under the pump. Gone from the hot dogs to the soft dogs. They've just lost 3 in a row. Is the West Coast just playing with the competition? Will Charlie Dixon kick in front of goals cost Port Adelaide? And is Nick Nat the most influential 8 touches a game player ever? I want to welcome Rocky Butterworth.
Hello, mate.
Good. Our Smythy's on the bench. So, mate, great to join us. Absolutely fantastic.
He thinks goal is the end of the earth, mate. He's frightened if he drives too fast, he's going to tip over the edge and never come back.
He did say last week, I'm not going out there. That was very, very funny. But welcome, mate. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, what about
to be here with you, mate?
Brad Crouch? To the Saints 2021. We've talked. We've heard about other clubs as well that that are looking at putting their hand up for his services for next year. Well, he's saying he's not going to move, of course.
Well, yeah, that's right. But the excuse has always been that the 2 Crouch brothers will go as a package wherever they go. All of a sudden this week they've come out and said we don't care where we go and we don't have to play together. To me that means they're both on the march.
Well, he said he's happy to stay, Brad Crouch. He was saying he's happy to stay, and pre-season all he wanted to do was get going, and he's had a few injuries this year. I think his form's certainly been questionable. So I would say that he probably might be a likely mover. Yeah,
look, the Crows have to do something, mate. They've got to make a stand, and that midfield hasn't worked since 2017. I wouldn't be surprised if they move them both on and try and get something for them in the training.
Freshen the team up.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably get some experience as well this time.
That's right.
Yeah, fantastic. And what about the Bulldogs? They've lost the last 3 games. As we're looking at the hot dogs to the soft dogs. I like that actually. It took me a while to come up with that one, so I wanted to get it right.
Mate. Yeah, that's nice.
Thoughts?
Oh, without a doubt, they've
nothing's changed, should we say? Really,
they've lived on the
very
back of
consistent side for years now.
They've lived on the back of the 2016 flag for the last 3 seasons, mate. They've just been a ship in the night around that 7 to 12 mark, and to me they don't look like they're going to go anywhere else. Luke Beveridge went from the best coach in Australia in 2016 to now he's not quite so good apparently.
It's questionable now, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? I know, I think Neil Barnes said it, the day you take on a coaching job's one day closer to getting sacked, and you sort of look at him a couple of years ago, he's on top of the mountain at the moment. He's got to be under the pump. I mean, to lose 3 in a row,
no question.
And to show the inconsistency over the last couple of years has probably been the biggest.
And he's persevering with Josh Bruce up forward, who they got over from St Kilda for a big contract. He hasn't fired a shot since he left the Saints, so I think he's kicked 4 goals in the last 6 games. If you're going to go with someone like that at full forward as your key forward, you're not going to win too many games.
I think he should try in another position. I really do. I think that he's such a talented player.
Yeah. And
just to leave him in a goal square for a quarter, I just think it's wrong. I don't think that's yesterday's footy. He's so talented. He can play across half back. He can play centre arm forward. I know the other week against the Power, he was. You can see he tried his backside off. There's no question about that.
He got 2 touches.
But he's up against about 5 players. So it's hard to.
But so is Charlie down the other end every time he goes for the footy. So
it's today's football, isn't it? Centre arm forward and full forward. You're not going to be. Yesterday you've taken 10 marks and kicking 6 or 7 goals sort of out of the picture. So if a player's not shown that spark early, especially with the ability he's certainly got, try him down back.
Yeah. Yep.
West Coast, what do you thought of the West Coast? I just mentioned that are they playing with the rest of the competition? Because when they spark, I don't think anyone can beat them.
I say without a doubt they're the best team in the competition by goals on their game. Now, how often has that been this year? Not many times. Sunday they're up against Carlton. They were 17 points down at one stage and ended up taking to the cleaners. And it was like they just got told at half time,
pull your heads in and let's get cracking.
But that midfield is so potent and strong. So if someone comes close to them right now, I say Port Adelaide, but to me they're still not in the same class as having two key forwards like Darling and Kennedy.
So they're getting through the season, they're getting through the games, and when they need to put the foot in the accelerator, they get the win. So it's going to be an exciting times, I suppose, for West Coast supporters during the finals campaign.
No doubt.
They'll switch it on then.
No doubt.
Yeah. Charlie Dixon in front of goals. I think he's nearly cost a couple of games, but not so at the moment. What are your thoughts?
Well, he's marking way better than he ever has since he came to the club. But I noticed on the last game that he played, when he missed 2 or 3 from 20 metres out dead in front, he's got a really awkward preparation to kicking it, and he starts his run up instead of his legs together. He's got one behind the other like he's about to go on an 800 metre race.
It's like he gets really nervous in front of goals rather than to the side. Or
That's right, but when he's over on those angles, he doesn't have that run up.
Yeah.
He runs up like a normal footballer should, and he kicks a whole lot straighter. Now, whether that's just a mental thing of taking the pressure away, I probably shouldn't kick it from here anyway, but if I do, everyone's happy.
I mean, you played a lot of footy, played under Blighty at Woodville. You take those marks 20 metres out from goal.
How were you with that, mate?
I was terrible. I swore that the opposition coach used to push a button and the goals just went sort of inwards because when I first took the mark, there was plenty of daylight. By the time I started running towards, I go, oh, geez, I reckon those goalposts move closer together. So maybe that might be the case for Charlie.
For Charlie.
Nick Nat. I mean, just superb ruckman. There's another, I think last week, again, 40 plus hit outs, but he's had 8 possessions. So he's not doing a lot around the ground, but he's giving them first look at the ball.
When he decides to run fast, he's like a gazelle. Like no ruckman can go with him. And he runs through blokes on the tackle like he hasn't got any brakes at all. But I noticed his ruck work as well in his half of the circle. He's prowling around that perimeter like he's about to have a fight. And so the opposing ruckman wouldn't have a clue where he's actually going to come from, what angle, so they can't get ready to try and meet him head on, and then he jumps over their head anyway.
He's got an incredible leap. Do you think he's one of those players that when the going gets tough, he actually stands up?
He does.
And I think it seems to me sort of getting through the season. Of course, he missed their grand final of a couple of years ago, and it just seems like I'll do whatever I need to do to get there, and then I'm going to explode. That's what it seems to me with Nick Nat.
It is, and even at no stage of the game, if West Coast are down by plenty or up by plenty, they're sticking to their theory that he plays 60% of the game maximum, and they don't care what is happening on the scoreboard. That's what they're going to do with Nick Nat, and he'll be a weapon in the finals.
Well, Rocky, what a start to this show.
Good start.
Absolutely fantastic. We're back after the break. And welcome back to Before the Bounce. Finally, my segment. I love it. Third week in, people are loving it. They're enjoying the segment. Right, you heard something different. You're the producer of the show.
No, I know that's a few minutes I can get off and go and talk to Aaron about our show, because usually it's nonsense. It's usually nonsense.
Nonsense, because there's no show without Ando.
How long did it take you?
It's a show about nothing. We're at the Gawler Harness Racing Club.
Yep.
Now, the great episode of Seinfeld is when Kramer's in the theatre and he asked for that hot dog at the theatre for about,
it's over there.
15 years. I reckon it's in that pie warmer. I couldn't believe it. So there's no show without Ando. So, topics. I think you've got something a bit special for you tonight, haven't you?
No, I'm going to sort of ambush your show.
Okay.
Because I'm the rookie, so it's no point you asking me something like you do with Smythe, and he sits back in his chair and looks at the ceiling and comes up with a terrific answer for you. We're not doing that. We're going to talk about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's no show about Ando, show about nothing, really.
Yeah.
And that's about me.
Well, that'll be once we're finished.
It's all starting to make sense now. It's all starting to make sense.
Let's go back to the start, mate. St Michael's is where you played your school footy. I hear you were one of the best ever school footballers throughout the last 40 or 50 years. G. Anderson, Smosh.
Right, so you spoke to my dad, so that's cool. So you've got that clear for you. That's perfect.
But there was a common theme and you can answer it for me. Was the game all about you then, or were you a team player?
Well, it was really funny because I have caught up with a couple of my old teammates, and they said they shepherded me really well, and they produced a nice ladder for me to jump up with their back. So perhaps I might have been a bit of a hog, but we had a great school side, and St Michael's, it was just fantastic playing schools like Sacred Heart and Ross Trevor and Pembroke and PAC we sort of done pretty well with them against them, and
And why'd you go there, mate? I think that's just one of the worst stories I've ever heard.
What's that?
Who were you supposed to play league footy for?
Well, I did sign with West Torrens
Yeah.
when I was 15.
Yeah.
But the airport actually took them to court. Said that I was in their zone, and so there was actually.
Oh, you're at Woodville High.
Well, I've also supposed then I went into the Woodville zone, so I was all over the place for a couple of years, and then they said on my 15th birthday I can pick which club I want to go to, and I end up going to Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide.
And it was funny. A couple of years later, guess what? Our zone that I was living in was West Torrens zone. So it's funny how everything sort of worked out.
So things are still fitting in there. That it was all about you at school. Then you wanted to go to the best team in the competition. No, didn't want to help another team up, did you? Really?
Oh, look.
So you joined in at 16 down at Alberton.
Yep. Fantastic.
And you couldn't even do your shoes up.
Well,
so
what I did.
So you'd done a 400.
Yeah.
On your hands and knees trying to do the laces up. What happened from there, mate?
I'll tell you what I did have trouble with the laces when you come up with laces was a lace-up Guernsey. Because I've rolled up to a footy park, we're playing Sturt my first game, and I've never put a lace-up Guernsey on before, and I thought, geez, I had to go to one of the old, Ted McMahon, I think it was the old trainer, and I said, Ted, you reckon you can help me with this lace-up? I don't know how to do it. So it was fantastic.
We had stuck in there all the time.
Let me tell you, mine wasn't too big in those days. I was so skinny. Oh, geez, it just wrapped around me.
Back on the story, you've done your 400 and zoomed around in about 44 seconds, they say, but your shoes come undone. And someone knocked you over.
It wasn't my laces. I'll tell you what did happen.
Right.
What I was doing, we were training, we had 5 or 6 400s at training to do, and what I was doing, I was standing at the back.
Yep.
And just about probably about the 200 mark, I'll just go around to the top group and then just run home in the top couple. So my plan was about the 4th one. I was doing it pretty easy, and so I'd run about 100, and I thought, right, 150, I'm ready to take off. I've just gone around the Dave Granger.
Yeah.
He's kicked my ankles from underneath me. Mate, I've done 3 or 4 cartwheels. And I thought I broke my ankle, I thought I broke my neck. I'm looking and we're finished, and blokes are laughing, and I couldn't say anything. Dave said, "Yeah, bring it on."
How did you play that year, Granger?
Well, it was interesting about that year because it wasn't long after that incident actually that they called him over. Yeah. Because one of our first training sessions after that incident in '82 when he went out and hit corns and all those other things at that Glenelg prelim. And he went and saw the president of the footy club, and I heard the big burnout in the car park, and off he goes. And I thought, well, geez, I hope they didn't sack him because of me.
So there's three little topics. It's all about you at school now.
Oh, this is terrible.
You picked the best club to go to because you want to prop up another club. Your first night at training got one of the stars of the 1982 flag sacked.
I got him sacked. I know.
To never come
terrible. I do feel terrible.
Yeah,
all those things.
I don't think you do.
But what you don't understand is that those players at St Michael's, they were some of the best shepherders of all time. They went on their careers and really were great team players.
Oh, that's terrific.
And that's what it was all about.
Yeah. Right. So then we go to you playing Glenelg, and someone mildly cleans you up.
Yeah, that's nasty.
And then there's a big blue going on. Can you tell everyone now? Did you just stay down in the trenches, or were you, and not interested in the fight going on that you caused?
You've got some good. Hey? You've got some very good notes here.
So is that how it happened? You just
again,
your mates are clock left, right, and centre, and you're making out you're asleep.
This is '83, so I'm 16, 17.
Yeah.
I've gone in to get the ball. I've just about to pick it up in my hand, and someone's booted me straight in the face. Missed the ball. He's kicked me in the face. I've gone down, and I could just hear the body, the crunches, the grabbing, the throwing down the ground.
Yeah.
I'm down on the ground. I'm thinking, I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. There's no way. First of all, I knew David Holst was the one who kicked me, and he's about 4 times as big as me. Remember, I'm 16, 17. So yeah, I just made out, closed my eyes and just sort of wished all this away. Went non-eyes. After the fight, I jumped up. Right, let's go.
Yeah, that's good. So that's 4 from 4.
Oh, it can't be any more.
Then you go over to Melbourne.
Yeah.
To Essendon. Super recruit.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but I loved it. I loved being at Essendon. It was fantastic.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Paul Salmon today.
Yeah, the big fish.
Just to confirm it.
Yeah.
One of the worst recruits of all time until he took you under his wing and just tapped everything to you. He said otherwise you'd be back in Adelaide in about 6 months.
Well, I know for a fact that the Fish's biggest issue was that he reckons every time I got the ball in that wing and he led beautifully, I was going for goal. I was going for goal, and I never...
While they were shrinking?
While they were shrinking. And let me tell you, Rocky, I went for goal every single time. I wasn't care if I was 60 out, I was going for goal straight over his head. But he was too tall. So he kept on marking it. So he said, geez, he's a good, he's good. He's a good teammate. He's always passing to me.
Yeah.
Little did he know, I was going for goal.
And finally, mate, I just want to bring up one more.
Yeah.
A few people know about this one, but I'm sure that most of our viewers won't. You made the front page of the Advertiser for another reason entirely, didn't you? And you told the reporter that it was a 3 or 4 metre shark that you've avoided, your survival instincts kicked in and you leapt out of the water onto that rock and saved your own life.
Oh, I was in Vienna. I wrestled that shark, let me tell you. But it was when I woke up the next morning and my brother come and knocked on the door and said, Greg, you wouldn't believe what's on the front page of the paper.
Yeah.
Ex-AFL footballer attacked by a shark, front page.
Yeah. How big was that gash on your big toe?
It was big. It was very, very lucky I didn't lose my foot.
How big was the shark?
Couple of stitches. It wasn't a lot, but it hurt at the time. I had a lot of puncture marks as well. A couple of puncture marks, but Rocky, I don't remember that scene in Jaws where they wanted to keep the beach open. Because that's the livelihood of the beach, and they were putting the signs in, no swimming, shark attack. So I've gone to the Port Elliot pub the next day. Yeah. They didn't want to know me. They said, Anderson, you've ruined our summer. Front page, Port Elliot, shark, no one's going in the water.
Were you on crutches?
I was on crutches. I actually got infected. I all jokes aside, and I've got a lot of very loyal viewers. Yeah. I was probably on crutches for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it was actually the infection that got me more so than nearly losing my foot. Yeah.
So what?
Can we go to a break? I need to take a big deep breath.
Were the Seas angry that day, my friend?
They were very, very angry, my friends. Like an old man taking back cold soup. We're back after the break. And welcome back to Before the Bounce, one of my favourite segments.
Yes,
it's Game of the State, which is absolutely brilliant. We talk about local footy. It's brought to you by Air Diffusion, who old Billy wouldn't be too happy about old Ranella at the moment. I think they've had one win. Yeah. But of course, Air Diffusion.
What about the lunch you put on last Friday for us?
Well, can I say, he's just a very, very kind man, Billy. Absolutely kind man. And at the end of the day, he'd have a big smile on his face because, of course, it's your one-stop shop for all your air conditioning. Yeah. But he's got branches in Welland, Salisbury, Lonsdale, Queensland, Darwin, so he's got it all covered. Everywhere. He's a very kind man. And what he does for SA Sport, not just SA footy, sport, absolutely a credit. A great South Australian. Brilliant man. Brilliant man. Let's go to the Brossa Gawler competition because, of course, a big game, Angaston and Tanunda Magpies. So Angaston clear favourites. I mean, they got some cracking recruits.
They have
absolute cracking recruits, and of course the Tanunda Magpies winning by 38 points. So they're doing very, very well.
Well, they have got great recruits. They got Steve Summonen from Port Adelaide out there. They got Scotty Lewis from the Bays and the Eagles. Jay Shannon coaches them. Big Mark Borholm leads the ruck. He's about 6'9". So they've recruited really well the last few years. And Tanunda have been at the top for many, many years over the last 15 years.
Two great clubs, aren't they? They are
well, they've won a game this year.
Yeah.
Tanunda. They've got a couple of the Westhoff boys there, and I think it's more than the rumour now that there'll be a third Westhoff playing at Tanunda.
Really?
Yes.
Not back to perhaps Centrals, but he'll just go back home and
He'll
and
go
play.
home.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
What about Barossa Gawler Centrals? I mean, that is a great side at the moment. The top of the table.
Well, they're well led by Matty Knight, of course.
Yeah. Well, oh, jeez. I didn't have that in my notes at all. at all. But a very, very good club playing fantastic football.
Did you know Charlie Molyneux when he was playing in the amateurs with Kilburn?
Look, I heard of him. He's a great player. I don't know him personally, but he's a great amateur footballer.
He is.
He is a great amateur
the best
footballer.
on ground on Saturday for Centrals, and he's a fair component of why they're having a very good season, I would have thought.
Because so that's what is probably his third best on ground. So
I reckon.
Just going absolutely fantastic. Down the South League, we're looking at Flagstaff Hill, unbeaten after 5, which is going very, very nicely. Flagstaff Hill beat Morphett Vale, which would have been probably the match of the round.
Yep.
And Christie's Beach as well, going very
going well.
nicely.
Yeah.
And they beat Happy Valley. And
What about your old mob?
Oh, Cove haven't won a game. Can't believe
It's another thing you're getting blamed for. You know that, don't you? Because when did you coach there?
I reckon it was
2013, something like that.
No, 2008. You mean when they won the flag, the first ever
Yeah, when you
premiership?
won a flag.
I think it was 2008.
Yeah,
Very,
cost them a lot,
very
that flag,
successful.
didn't it?
Oh, they got it cheap. Very, very cheap. Very cheap. Didn't see you help me either. You didn't help me down at South Adelaide when I asked you to be my
So
assistant.
that's another thing. I've got so much dirt on you, mate. Coached in South Adelaide for about 80,000 in the early 2000s.
When you heard that, when you did hear
I
that
lived
rumour,
at West Lakes, and you said, "Can you come in and be my assistant?" I said, "Yeah, how much?" And you said, "I probably managed to get your tracksuit top."
no bottom. It was only the top. It was only that was honestly that sort
Pay
of
my
money that
way
South
down there
had.
to
It was
stand at Windy Hill.
I thought, and I really need your help too.
Yeah.
Well, and it was shepherd's pie every Thursday night and a little glass of red. That would have been lovely. I reckon you're pretty tough on that contract. Very, very tough.
Do you ever wonder why I'm still friends with you, mate?
Look at some of the questions you asked me. I'm a bit worried about our friendship. I really, really am. We're back after the break. And welcome back to Before the Bounce. Been a fantastic show. I'm absolutely loving it with my co-host Rocky Butterworth. You're going to throw another spanner in the works. We've got a brand new segment.
Yeah, it'll only happen every now and then, Ando, when people make foolish bets.
Right, is that right? Foolish bet?
Yeah,
Okay,
so the segment's going to be called the Big Payoff.
I love it. I love it.
See, so you do something stupid, there's going to be a payoff at the end.
Yeah, okay.
So we brought in Helen Mitchell.
Hi, Helen, welcome.
Stupid.
I did see the bet and I reckon it was stupid, that bet. But so you've got to pay the divvy.
She's a lifetime supporter of Port Adelaide.
Oh,
as is the rest of them.
Yeah.
Sister Diane, brother Kevin.
Yeah.
And mum, who was
I
95
know
when
Di,
she
she loves
passed
Port,
away.
loves it, yeah.
And how many games did your mum miss in that?
Oh, not many. She
Yeah.
was still going at 95.
Yeah, still going at 95.
Isn't that fantastic?
And I reckon her ashes are scattered on Albion and Oval as
They
well.
are.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
the mad Port Adelaide people, and Helen has actually gone mad
Yep.
because she thought that Port could beat St Kilda, mate. What do you think of that?
Well, you know, as silly as I'm going to sound now in front of Rocky, I would have taken that bet as well. Don't worry about that. I thought it was a safe bet.
I thought at the time the Saints were rampaging along and Port was stuttering along with Charlie missing those 20 metre
Who do you
kicks.
back for in the...
St Kilda.
Oh, right, okay. Explains a little bit. Funny about our colours as well, being the producer of the show and our colours are St Kilda.
So what happens with the Big Payoff, mate, is I've got to answer 10 questions that we've randomly written.
I love it.
A couple of our friends have given me a couple.
Yeah.
So you can do the odds and I'll do the evens.
All right,
And,
no worries. Well, I reckon the first one's going to be a beauty.
All right.
With your honest opinion, who do you think is a better host?
That's not there.
Who is better looking? Ex-Woodville, Rocky Butterworth, or ex-Port Adelaide, Greg Anderson?
Greg Anderson.
Right, you got
Most
that
definitely.
right. You got that one right. Okay, question number 2, Rocky.
Right.
No, go back to question one.
Oh,
mate.
okay. If you were arrested at 17 with no explanation from the police, what would your family think you've done?
I have no idea. I've always been honest and true, and so
Good.
I wouldn't have been arrested by the police.
Good
Yeah.
answer. I love it.
I wasn't 17.
Oh no, we've got.
Okay,
done
can we
something
change the
up
number to
here.
15?
No, I was never arrested by the police.
I think you might have been, but
I was not.
no. It was just a question of see what would you do, not. See, but
what
when you
would I
take
have
it
done?
personally, that means you're probably guilty.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
No, I can't answer. No, I don't know that one. Sorry.
So that's
Stupid question.
that's a
Ask
tick.
no questions,
That's
tell me
a
no
tick in
lies.
the foolish department. That's good. Number 2, you're held at gunpoint and told to impress with your dance moves or get shot. What dance move in your catalogue would you choose?
The Macarena.
Oh, okay.
Macarena. Can you shot?
I'll probably get shot than do that.
Well,
that dance.
that's one for you.
Okay, what is the ugliest thing you own?
Husband.
He's looked over at the husband then. I was a bit worried she's looking over at me and I thought, hang on.
No, Rocky, you could have come up with better questions.
I didn't come up with this. Your family have given me a hand with a couple of these.
I don't have. No,
No? Nothing ugly in your place?
no. Only Daryl. That's the only one I could come up with.
I'll give you that one.
I won't.
Who would you choose, Jack Trengrove or Jackson Trengove?
Jackson,
Why?
because he gave the club an absolute.
He was fantastic,
He
wasn't
was.
he? He gave everything. He gave everything.
Yes, I was very sad when he
Yeah,
left.
I think we
yeah.
all were. Yeah. Okay,
Because
question
he's
number
played good
5.
footy since he left, hasn't he? He's just
He's been
taken
out-
them apart.
He's been out injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. He gave everything he had to
did.
put out a footy club.
Yeah.
Now, Nathan Buckley is appointed as Ken's successor. Would you be happy with that? Well, straight away, no. Look at the-
Jack.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? That was
I'm
question
telling
number
you.
6.
This one,
No.
No, okay.
question 6 is quite important. The UK's Dyslexia Research Trust is in which British city? You don't know.
I don't know.
The UK's Dyslexia Research Trust is in which British city?
Oh, Reading.
Of course it is.
Reading.
Okay.
Reading.
I would
Reading
have
it is.
I would
It's
have
It's reading.
It's Reading.
never got that. Yeah. The trading Doogie Howard to the mighty Saints will cost Port Adelaide a premiership. What are your thoughts?
No,
No.
Why not?
he's playing well, but I think Trent McKenzie is doing brilliantly. But
Hasn't he been doing
Couldn't
well?
get a
Trent
game
McKenzie?
last year. What are you talking about?
We just need opportunity. That's all you
talking
need.
this year.
Yeah, that's all you need. Opportunity. Yeah.
No,
Rightio. Now this one I actually quite like. One of your family sent this in. One of my favourite bits of knowledge, and I was this. There's a French artist called Acquabuzet.
Very talented.
Yeah, he
Yep.
is. And he paints cows in what material?
cow dung.
Cow dung. Yep. Which I think is funny, but what is more humorous is when you go home at night
Oh,
Ando,
yeah,
and your
yeah,
wife says,
yeah.
"How was today? What did you
Yeah.
do today?" And you just say,
Same day.
"Same shit."
Actually.
Different day.
Different day. Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh dear, that tastes like. Now, will Charlie Dixon ever kick a goal from the 20 metre directly in front?
Yes.
Yeah.
When?
This game. Next game.
Next game, can we?
Oh, don't tell me I have to be on
Yeah,
the
the one
game.
again. He has been a bit poor directly in front of goals,
He
hasn't he?
has.
Yeah,
But
but
what about that goal he kicked from the pocket?
wasn't that brilliant? Wasn't that brilliant?
Right,
And
right.
Laddams, what about
Right.
that goal? Fantastic.
Charlie
So,
was
a couple of the
right
big
in front
boys
of us.
kicking beautifully at in the pockets.
They both had their eyes shut, mate.
It doesn't matter.
Last one. Who was your favourite Woodville player in the 80s?
Oh, Malcolm Blight.
Malcolm Blight.
Oh, Rocky.
Oh, yeah, Rocky Butterworth. There we are.
Rocky.
Thanks, Helen, for being a bloody good sport
Well,
and
it's
playing your
absolutely
debt.
been a fantastic
Paid my
show. Thank you, Helen, for joining us. That was good fun. Rocky, brilliant co-hosting. Thank you so
Thanks,
much. And don't forget all the viewers, share and like and all that sort of stuff. View it, that's what we call it, isn't it? View it. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.